The truth hitting you right now, the way things run sucks. Investment feels stuck, returns sluggish, impact still a buzzword tossed around like confetti but rarely delivered. You see billions poured into companies promising change, only to discover the same wasteful linear game played over and over. You're frustrated because you want more. Real results, real returns, real impact. Not some hollow fluff wrapped in greenwashing. You're tired of watching capital flow into systems that pump out pollution, strip resources, and leave communities behind, while screaming they're building the future. That future, it's breaking down under our feet because it's based on an old, broken cycle. Take materials, make products, trash them. End of story. But the cost? Skyrocketing for the planet, for society, and for your portfolio's credibility. You feel it every day. The dissonance between what's promised and what's delivered, the limits of conventional investing blinding even the brightest minds. But here's the brutal truth nobody else will scream loudly enough. Advancing circular systems is the real game changer. It's the secret weapon for investors who refuse to settle, who want to align their money with the future that's actually possible. Circular systems don't just recycle materials, they reinvent value flows. They shrink waste, slash costs, and unlock hidden efficiencies that linear systems simply can't touch. Imagine investments where every dollar fuels regeneration, where scraps become gold, where products are designed from day one to return, reuse, and renew indefinitely. This isn't about small gains or token sustainability credits. It's about rewriting the rules of value creation. Here's the first command to grab hold of. Hunt out companies embedding circularity at their core, not as a side project, but as the pulse of their business model. They obsess about designing out waste, maximizing resource loops, and innovating materials that biodegrade or stay endlessly useful. Next, demand transparency, like your returns depend on it. Because they do. Circular systems thrive on data, real-time tracking of resource flows, life cycle impacts, and social outcomes. As an investor, push these ventures to share what's under the hood, not just friendly PR. If they shy away, walk away. And don't just look at environmental gains. Dig deep into how these models fuel resilient supply chains, reduce volatility, and create new markets where scarcity once ruled. This is where returns aren't just probable, they're inevitable. Here's the kicker. Invest in platforms enabling circular ecosystems. Companies don't exist in isolation. Circularity depends on a network of partners, suppliers, users, recyclers, innovators, all linked in constant dynamic exchange. Look for ventures operating as hubs connecting these dots, catalyzing collaboration that scales impact and profit hand in hand. These platforms become unstoppable forces driving systemic change instead of isolated wins. Do not underestimate the transformative power of this mindset. If you want capital to do more than churn profits, if you want it to crack open the very system that enslaves value to linear decay, then this is your battlefield. To the founders, investors, and leaders watching, push, prod, demand, and fund solutions that don't just promise green, but deliver circular excellence. Because the old systems are dying. Money tied to linear thinking will rot with them, but capital aligned with circular systems, it flows through the future, regenerating wealth, communities, and the planet alike. Feel that urgency burning in the chest? That's not fear, that's clarity. The window to transform how value works is closing fast. Step in now with fierce precision. Seek circular investments, insist on full transparency, back ecosystem builders, and reject anything less than radical rethinking. This isn't a trend, it's survival. This isn't saving face, it's racing time. This is how advancing circular systems drives investor returns not just in dollars, but in legacy. Your legacy. The legacy of the few who broke free from old illusions and built a future that actually works. The choice is brutal and clear. Keep funding the dying old or ignite the unstoppable new. Don't blink. The world waits for no one.